alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of QRDI Council, I'm pleased to welcome you all to today's sessions and thank you for joining us. I'm Ali Al-Aboudi, Senior Research Program Manager with QRDI, and alongside my colleague, Dr. Kamla Al-Mannai, will be hosting you today, will be hosting this webinar for you today. We are delighted to have the attendees from various institutions, and we appreciate your time for being with us today and for your interest in QRDI programs. Today, we'll explore exciting opportunities in 5 research courses, focusing on digital technologies and electrical engineering. We also have 2 additional webinars from QRDI for tomorrow and after tomorrow, respectively for environment and health-related calls. Whether you're new or familiar with our QRDI application, our goal today is to provide useful information that will assist you in crafting your proposal and applying accordingly to our course. After the presentations, we will have a Q&A session, so feel free to submit your question at any time during the webinar through the Q&A chat box. We have also here with us a representative from the joint founders of our calls. They are more than happy to answer your inquiries related to their institution.
Dr. Ali, can you please share your slides? We cannot see.
Sure, no problem. Let me share it again. Are you able to see now?
Yes.
Great. Before we start, just a few housekeeping notes to have, our quality of presentation to everyone. The session is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be available after the event. And also, if you have experienced any technical issues, please message us in the Q&A chat box. For my colleagues, the webinar co-hosts, please mute your microphone when speaking, when we're not speaking, to minimize the background noise. We're almost ready to go. Without further ado, let us begin our information session on 5 research calls for today. I'm inviting my colleague, Dr. Kamla Al-Mannai, to walk us through the rapid research grants that presented today. The floor is yours, Dr. Kamla.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I will start with the agenda for today's presentation. We will start by giving an overview of the calls, which mainly come in 2 parts, the rapid calls and the national calls. Then we will continue by providing an overview of the application, of the applicant eligibility, proposal budgets, and the pre-award stage. We will conclude with the timeline and then open the floor for any questions you may have. Now let's move on to the calls overview. We have 2 types of calls.
Sorry.
Rapid research grants and national research grants. Rapid research grants support short-term calls with smaller budgets, and we are launching 3 calls in this category. The first rapid call is the new initiative with Al Jazeera Media Network, titled the Media Horizons Call. The second rapid call is with Qatar National Library, titled the Preserving Qatar's Heritage Call, now in its 2nd cycle. The third rapid call is with Raqqa, titled Modernizing the Charitable Sector Call, currently in its 3rd cycle. So turning to the national research grants. These support longer-term calls with higher funding levels. There are 2 calls in this category, both launched as a first-time collaborations. The first is with Ooredoo, titled the Future Communication Call. The second is with the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, titled the Artificial Intelligence for Qatar Call. Now that we have seen the overview, let's dive into the rapid research grants. I'll break down each of the 3 calls in this category, starting with the first. So this is the first cycle of the Media Horizons call, a collaboration between QRDI and Al Jazeera Media Network. As with all calls, we will go through its objectives, research priority areas, and available resources. So turning to the objectives of the call, this call is designed to foster innovative R&D approaches, contributing to the resilience and credibility of media and journalism in an increasingly complex digital landscape. The call focuses on exploring the impact of frontier digital technologies on key media sector, key performance indicators, KPIs. It also aims to develop advanced digital solutions that promote media integrity and enhance audience engagement. In addition, R&D efforts in ICT, supported by social science insights, are invited to address the following priority areas under the call. So moving to the research priority areas under this call, the first priority area focuses on Arabic text-to-speech technologies. Specifically, the call is interested in how modern text-to-speech solutions can feature expressive Arabic voices with integrated emotional control, tailored for journalism and media applications to enhance the audience engagement. Applicants are expected to develop functional TTS algorithm capable of generating natural, emotionally expressive Arabic speech in modern standard Arabic and key dialects. Proposals should also aim to address critical gaps in Arabic speech synthesis, leveraging open source models and publicly available datasets, and building on Ajman's media expertise and QRDI's research infrastructure. The second priority area focuses on deep fake detection and content authenticity. This area addresses how robust and generalizable deep fake detection technologies can safeguard high-impact media operations and ensure content authenticity. Given the rapid evolution of generative models, applicants are expected to develop state-of-the-art detection models with strong generalization capabilities, including against diffusion-based systems. Anticipated outcomes include highly accurate multimodal detection systems, the development of benchmarking and evaluation frameworks, and the delivery of operational tools to support newsroom and broadcast workflows. So building on the themes we've just covered, we'll now move to the resources available through our joint funder, Al Jazeera, to support applicant proposals. Applicants may leverage Ajman resources when relevant to their proposals. In such cases, applicants need to identify and justify the utilization aspects of the resources in the relevant section of the research plan. This includes access to relevant data logs and data sets, hardware and software kits, and expertise where time and guidance from media technology professionals is provided in testing and commercialization. The applications should demonstrate the relevance of anticipated outcomes to admin and should reference and utilize realistic data, avoiding hypothetical models and fictitious data to the greatest extent possible. A supporting letter from admin is not mandatory. For admin resources request, please contact Dr. Yasser Al-Mahayu and Dr. Ahmed Al-Muna. We now move to the second rapid research grant calls. This is the second cycle of the Preserving Qatar's Heritage Call, a collaboration between QRDI and Qatar National Library. So starting with the objective of this call, under the call title, Unveiling the Essence of Islamic Manuscripts by AI, this call focuses on 5 key areas. First, the objective is to develop AI-driven tools and methods that enhance accessibility, discoverability, and semantic linking of Islamic manuscripts. Second, the call aims to transform digitized collections into AI-ready datasets, supporting research, education, public engagements. Third, the objective is to engage local expertise and build national capacity in AI, ICT, and manuscript studies. In addition, the call seeks to establish standards, metadata frameworks, and policies to support sustainable AI-enabled cultural heritage research. Finally, the call aims to enable innovative that supports Qatar national strategies and positions Qatar as a leader in cultural AI. Moving to the research priority areas under the Preserving Qatar's Heritage Call, the first priority area focuses on AI-enabled text conversion and transcription for Islamic manuscripts. This area addresses how converting historical manuscripts from image-based content into accurate and machine-readable text can serve as a foundational step for AI-driven research. Applicants are encouraged to leverage state-of-the-art vision language models to process Arabic manuscripts, moving beyond traditional OCR and HTR approaches. Proposals should also address complex challenges such as diverse calligraphic styles, spelling variants, and decorative motifs. In addition, this area supports transforming digitized manuscripts into AI-ready datasets that can enable downstream analysis and large language model training. The second priority area focuses on metadata extraction and semantic linking to enhance accessibility and engagement with Islamic manuscripts. This includes building structured, AI-ready metadata and establishing semantic connections across manuscripts to support research, discovery, and usability. Proposals are expected to address the extraction of key metadata such as titles, authors, and locations to generate organized manuscripts descriptions. They may also include merging manuscripts with identical or overlapping metadata, including duplicates or fragmented records into cohesive digital profiles. In addition, proposals may construct interconnected graphs based on metadata relationships. Finally, establishing semantic links at the themes and concept levels to enable advanced search, personalized recommendation, and AI-driven analysis. So building on what we've just covered, we'll now move to the resources available through our joint funder, Qatar National Library to support applicants' proposals. Applicants may leverage Q&L resources where relevant to their proposals. In such cases, applicant must clearly identify and justify how these resources will be utilized within the research plan. Q&L provides access to relevant information, including digitized Arabic manuscripts across a wide range of topics, as well as a network of stakeholders to enable high-quality research and capacity building in Qatar. These digitized manuscripts will be progressively published on the Q&L Manara Research Portal and made accessible online. When technically justified, a Q&L may also provision secure virtual machines, specialized software, and computing resources to support the proposal research. Q&L particularly welcome proposal focusing on high-quality OCR and HTR, entity and metadata extraction, information extraction, margin and commentary identification, and font and layout analysis for Arabic manuscripts. Applicants should clearly demonstrate the relevance of anticipated outcomes to Q&L and should reference and utilize realistic data, avoiding hypothetical models and fictitious data where possible. A supporting letter from Q&L is not mandatory. For Q&L resources request, please contact Mr. Mohammed Abouda. So we now move to the third Rapid Research Grants Call. This is the third cycle of modernizing the charitable sector call in collaboration with RACA. So starting with the objectives for this call, the key objectives of this call focus on strengthening the charitable and the humanitarian sector in the state of Qatar. First, to assess the capabilities of the charitable and the humanitarian sector and to develop them in a way that supports effective implementation. Second, to achieve and enhance participation of the charitable and the humanitarian sector in achieving Qatar national vision and sustainable development goals for 2030. Third, to support confidence of the local and international community in Qatar's charity work. So moving to the research priority areas under this call, the first priority area asks, how can generative artificial intelligence solutions be applied in the charitable, humanitarian, and developmental sectors? This area focuses on understanding the challenges and opportunities associated with deploying AI across the field in Qatar. It also addresses the strategies, guidelines, and recommendations needed to overcome challenges and realize opportunities. In addition, this area explores the most effective generative AI approaches to optimize performance in these sectors and how they can be deployed in practice. The second priority area asks, how can creativity and novelty be applied in the charitable, humanitarian, and developmental sectors? This area examines creative and novel practices that can be applied in the field. It also focuses on how these approaches can be integrated to achieve excellence in these fields in Qatar. Through the two themes, the call prefers to address the following use cases. These include use cases related to financial and operational impact, such as enhancing financial inclusion improving operational efficiency. They also include use cases focused on impact and positioning, including assessing the societal impact of RACA programs and elevating international visibility and strategic positioning. In addition, preferred use cases may focus on talent development, including fostering engagement and retention of emerging talent within the sector. For this call, Arabic language proposals are welcomed alongside English submissions. So now, building on the themes we've just covered, we'll now move to the resources available through our joint funder, RACA, to support applicant proposals. Applicants may leverage RACA resources where relevant to their proposals. In such cases, applicants should clearly identify and justify how these resources will be utilized within the research plan. Applications should demonstrate the relevance of anticipated outcomes to RACA and should reference and utilize realistic data, avoiding hypothetical models and fictitious data to the greatest extent possible. A supporting letter from RACA is not mandatory. For RACA resources, please contact Mr. Abdurrahman Abdallah Al-Arqubi with the additional contacts listed on the slide, also copied for reference. So that was for the grant research calls. Now I'll pass the floor to Dr. Ali Al-Aboudi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamla. Very insightful and very valuable information about the 3 calls. As we mentioned in the beginning, we have 5 calls. So 3 now introduced by Dr. Kamla related to the rapid calls, which fits more for short-term research. Now we're moving to kind of more comprehensive calls. It's called the National Research Grants, or NRG calls. Here it's quite intensive calls with longer duration, bigger budget. Also, we in this calls we allow international collaboration, and we budget this for as we're gonna see for the details later on. The first call that we have in our national research grant is first cycle. It's a new call with Ooredoo Qatar. The title of the call is Future Communication Call. And as I mentioned, this is the first cycle, and also we are allowing international collaboration. So the objective of this call between QRDI and Ooredoo, in line with Qatar's National Development Strategy 3, the research call here aims to advance future communication technologies in order to keep the nation at the forefront of the technological innovation, while meeting the increasing demand for secure and reliable connectivity. To address Qatar's expanding connectivity needs and strengthen its position as a regional hub for secure and cutting-edge ICT, R&D efforts in satellite and quantum communication are highly needed here to cover this. Moreover, there is a big aim and big ambition to integrate AI in the telco sector and exploring the emerging of the 6G capabilities for the communication domain. This is, becomes very essential to ensure efficient communication services and sustaining the sector global competitiveness. This is, the high-level objectives that, the call is intended to cover. Under this call, we have 4 research themes or 4 research areas identified together by Ooredoo and QRDI. The 4 themes, you're not supposed to cover all of them. You should, only align your proposal or application to at least one of these 4 themes. The first one is AI-powered for secure, efficient, and adaptive telecommunications. This research area is meant to study the integration of AI-powered tools to make telecom networks more autonomous, energy efficient, resilient, and secure across RAN, core transport, and edge cloud spots. Proposals should target feasibility studies, prototyping types, pilots as well. Any of this will be fine, aligned with the national RDI priorities and Ooredoo operational needs. The second theme here is exploring how 6G technologies can expand, enhance our daily life applications beyond what we have right now of the 4 and 5G capabilities. So the theme here targets applied research that leverages 6G enabling technologies to deliver new or significantly improved everyday services beyond the 4G, 5G can support so far. Expected outcomes include a working prototype, pilots, feasibility study, demonstration that can prove or showcase one or more 6G enablers, along with qualified improvement over the current scenario. For example, lower latency, higher reliability, energy efficiency, better positioning accuracy, security, privacy, and safety by design. All these kind of measures, if we can put it to the application of the 6G, this will be what we have meant here in the second theme. Moving to the third theme. The third theme here is related to advancing research on the challenges and solution for seamless hybrid satellite cellular fiber networks. All of us, we are aware that we have a rapid growth for the internet connected devices. Applied research that addresses the technical and operational challenges of integrating satellite, terrestrial, cellular, and fixed fiber into a single, secure, and resilient connectivity fabric is invited here. So the objective is uninterrupted service with intelligent traffic steering, session continuity, and assured quality of service, particularly for hard-to-serve environment, maritime, remote areas, disaster response, all things, and of course, in addition to high reliability urban use cases. So expected outcomes include feasibility studies, prototypes, emulated pilot demonstrating cross-domain handover and traffic splitting, along with quantified gains over the single network baseline. So higher availability, for example, lower latency, jitter, greater throughput, reduced costs per bit, or also reduced energy per bit, and stronger security positioning. Feasibility and interoperability assessment, of course, is part of the scope here, so it's still acceptable. Moving to the fourth theme here under Ooredoo Future Communication Call, investigating quantum computing penetration and its implication for existing network architectures. So research application on how emerging quantum computing will affect today's assets, telecom assets, and enterprise network in terms of security models, control data plans, and operations are invited. So this is, we want to hear about, this hybrid modality of having computing in addition to the current or the classical internet that we have in so far. The applicants may propose practical pathways to make architecture quantum resilient and assess the real-world feasibility of quantum, charting a post-quantum transition with crypto-agile designs and data lifetime risks are among the pain points to be considered here. So as I mentioned, one of these is enough, so you don't have to break your head in all of this. So only focus your proposal at least one. Okay, so Orido in their perspective also they provide some resources. Most of the resources is gonna be maybe in the testing and commercialization phase. So applicants may leverage where available the Orido resources when relevant to their proposals, and also they need to identify and justify this utilization in their proposals. So for example, resources, data sets, sandboxes, platforms, expertise in the relevant research plan. Orido may eventually connect the awardees with relevant industry needs. They have a big network of industrial and partners, and assist commercialization and testing of R&D outcomes through different Orido partnerships. It's worth to mention that application should demonstrate the relevance of the anticipated outcomes to Orido, and should reference and utilize realistic data, avoiding hypothetical model and fictitious data to the greatest extent possible. As we mentioned in the previous calls, supporting letter is okay, but it's not mandatory. So you can also apply without the supporting letter if you're struggling to have it. For Orido resources inquiries, we have Ms. Najla Al-Bakr, and also we have Mr. Freenas Mobildija. Their contacts are there in the screen, and also in the RFA. So this is for the first call that we have it, future communication with Orido. Now moving forward to our second big call, or national research grant, ambitious call with the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. It's also the first cycle to start this collaboration with the ministry, and we're proud of this. In this calls, also international collaboration is allowed. The title of the call is Artificial Intelligence for Qatar. First cycle, we call it ICAD Cycle 1. So the objectives, it's clear that we have a national AI strategy, and we're keen to have our priorities is aligned with the Qatar national AI strategy. So the objectives are to boost the national economy and enhance societal services by deploying AI in different sectors. So widening the deployment of AI, to advance digital transformation and AI research areas that leverage Qatar's local context in terms of Arabic language, oil and gas industry, all things that related to Qatar, of course. To promote the responsible and ethical use of AI that supports human, social, economic, and environmental development, considering the unique culture, religious, and social aspects of Qatar. Building on the three objectives, our call this cycle, the first year with the ministry, is focusing in three themes, three priority areas. As usual, you're not supposed to align your proposal to all of them. Only one is enough, so you should focus at least considering one of these themes. AI assisted healthcare. This is the first one. The research area here aims to utilize AI tools in diagnostics and patient data analysis, focusing on accuracy and confidentiality, enhance healthcare outcomes, and empower remote and digital healthcare services. This is the broad theme of AI-assisted healthcare. The second theme here is AI-assisted education. The research area aims to harness AI tools to personalize learning experiences, adapting to deliver students' needs and styles, ensuring a more engaging and effective education. This is for the second theme. The third theme here is AI-assisted tourism, and of course from the title, it is meant to leverage AI tools to enhance visitor experiences and streamline operations. It covers innovative solutions for personalized recommendations, smart city kits for transport logistics, inventory management, and demand forecasts. It also includes data analytics for executives and city managers to identify potential customers and deliver personalized marketing content for their citizens. This is for the research priorities areas for the AI for Qatar, artificial intelligence for Qatar. Ministry of Communication is very active partner, and they offering some support for their applications or the proposals of this call. So applicant may leverage the ministry resources when relevant to their proposal. In such cases, applicant need to justify as usual the utilization of this in their relevant section in their search plan. The ministry can eventually connect the awardees with the relevant industry needs and assist commercializing and testing the R&D outcome through Tasmo Digital Valley platform and Innovation Lab facilities and other ministry partnerships. It is worth to mention also that the application should demonstrate the relevance of anticipated outcome to the ministry and to the themes that we have mentioned before, and should reference and utilize realistic and avoiding hypothetical models factual data to the greatest extent possible. For the supporting letter is not really mandatory here from the ministry, but it's up to them if they are able to get it. But this is not gonna stop the application. For the ministry resources, we have here the contacts of the focal points, Ms. Amna Al-Kaabi, and also we should see the Digital Innovation Department in all the communication with the ministry. Moving to now we're over. We went through the themes of the 5 calls, 3 rapid introduced by Dr. Kamla and 2 national bigger introduced by myself. Now we're gonna move to the steps that you need to follow to apply for any of these calls. So starting by the eligibility for RRG and NRG. RRG, it means Rapid Research Grants, and NRG, National Research Grants. So the eligibility of the lead principal investigator to be affiliated to an approved submitting institution inside Qatar. So the lead PI should be affiliated there. The lead PI also must have hold an approved terminal degree as defined in the list of terminal degrees, usually PhDs and other degrees for medical sector. The lead PI must only have 1 application in the cycle. Other research team members eligibility, please refer to the personal requirements document available at document library. So we have document library in our InnoLite portal. InnoLite, this is QRDI portal. In Arabic, it means Manarat Liptikar. So this is, a well-known portal. So you have lots of information that you can help you to know everything about the eligibility, the calls, everything. So whatever we have mentioned here is still there in the InnoLite. Eligibility of submitting institution. All the academic institutions are public, private, and other non-profit and NGOs entities inside Qatar with approved research offices from QRDI are eligible to apply for this. In fact, we have 38 local institutions can be filtered under InnoLite entities. So you can find around 38. We have 38 so far. They are allowed to submit right away from their side. Collaborative institution, they can collaborate with the submitting institution and must include at least 1 affiliated BI from their side. The joint funder staff from our partners, Ministry, Uridu, Raqqa, of course Al Jazeera, and QNL are not eligible to participate as lead BI or BIs, but they can of course support as other teams member in the call. For national research grants, as we mentioned before, casually, international collaboration is allowed, so institutions inside and outside Qatar are eligible to collaborate with the submitting institutions. Collaborative institution, as we mentioned, also should have a BI from their side. Bear in mind that QRDI has relaxed the eligibility criteria for applicants, so we don't have any restriction now in terms of number of applications, the H index, all this kind of things, removed to make it easy for everyone affiliated to a research institute here in Qatar to apply. For the budget, we have two types, as we mentioned. For the RRG, our budget is based on the duration, of course. For the Media Horizon call with Al Jazeera and Preserving Qatar Heritage call with QNL, this is 12 months duration. So the budget here is 300 Qatari riyal, 1,000 Qatari riyal, or which is equivalent to 82 thousand US dollar. For the modernizing charitable sector call with RACA, this is kind of short duration of 6 months, so 50% of the budget is 150 K Qatari riyal, and in terms of US dollars, 41,000 US dollars. For rapid research grants, travel costs, indirect costs are not allowed. The grant and effort allocation, 100% of the effort, 100% of the total budget should be expended inside Qatar. So this is purely inside. Co-funding and cost sharing, of course, are encouraged. We have some, policy for this also available in our document library. This is for the budget and duration for RRG. For the national research grants, quite bigger as we mentioned. So the total budget here is 1 million riyal, which is equivalent to 274,000 US dollar over 2 years maximum. The minimum budget to be expended inside Qatar, 80%. You are allowed to spend a maximum of 20% of the budget outside Qatar. In terms of the effort performed, 65% of the effort should be, this is the minimum to be performed inside Qatar. The maximum R&D efforts performed outside Qatar is 35%. Cost sharing, co-funding, of course, encouraged, and we have some kind of policy for this. Also, it's worth to mention that travel and indirect costs here are allowed, and they should be budgeted, no problem. Budget components are available at the document library, as we mentioned, under Light as well. So this is a link, and the link also is available in our request for proposal. To apply, we have two types of applications, either to make your proposal as new or to label it as resubmitted. So for new proposal, you should clearly select new because it's not really resubmitted. New application may also include proposals that did not pass screening in previous cycles. So whatever you have submitted in the past and not pass screening, this can be also considered as new, no problem. Proposals that passed screening but were not awarded in previous cycles are allowed to be resubmitted once in the subsequent cycle as resubmission. So you can go for resubmission if your proposal not awarded in previous cycles. Good kind of thing is here I want to mention about our new call, because new calls, it means nothing in you don't have previous cycles. But in fact, proposals that were not awarded in the most recent cycles, concluded cycles, for example, ARG2, climate change 2, food security 5, precision medicine 8, all this kind of things that have been concluded and not awarded proposals can be resubmitted to the newly launched call, future communication and AI for Qatar. So still they can also accept resubmitted from the most recent cycles. Bear in mind that the resubmission is permitted only once, and the proper declaration for this should be provided in the QNRF box. You should let us know that, you know, this is a resubmission of whatever you submitted in the past. Okay. Pre-award phase, we have a sequence of steps started from your side. Proposal registration and submission, this is by the lead PI, and the vetting, this is also inside the institution by the research office inside your institutions. The screening from our side, this is, you know, will be handled jointly by QRDI and the joint funder. And then we have two scenarios after that for rapid research grants and for national research grants. For the rapid, right away, we'll move to programmatic panel review, funding recommendation, and an award announcement. For the national research grant, we're moving for one more steps, which is called scientific peer review, before jumping into the programmatic panel review. And then we'll continue as usual by funding recommendation and the award announcement. So this is the main difference between the rapid and the national research grant. Other than that, all the steps, as you can see in front of you, is common from registration all the way to the award announcement by the end of the cycle. For the submission, for the registration, it's clear, straightforward. We're opening this in OSS qgrants.org, and this is the main section that, you know, you should, you know, fulfill before submitting to QRDI, started by the summary, research areas, institutions, personnel, all this section, you need to fulfill it, and then, you know, you're allowed to submit. It's worth to mention that, you know, still we're maintaining the research plan length up to 10 pages. We're also templates and policies available at the calls page in QRDI. So each call is having a dedicated page that, you know, clarifying everything related to the call. Second step after vetting and registration from your side as an institution, this is gonna be QRDI step. It's called the screening. And as we mentioned, with the relevant joint funder, we're performing this. As we can see in different calls, different joint funders, a screening outcome should be announced, of course. And so many details about the screening document library is also available there that you can find more details about this. It's worth to mention that, you know, external similarity screening, we're not going to consider it in the screening. This is going to be a review criteria. We're maintaining simplified documentation authorization process. We're also relying a lot on the vetting of the RO. So please, the RO, we're expecting that, you know, looked insightfully in your submissions before vetting to QRDI. A kind of new step here, we're looking at the alignment of the proposal to the research priorities in a high level. This is going to be part of the screening this year. After the screening, we're going to the review. For RRG, it's only one step review. It's called the programmatic panel review, and also it constitutes 100% of the evaluation or the grade. Under the programmatic panel review, we have 4 criteria. Scientific excellence constitutes 30%, implementation 30%, resources 20%, valorization, how this, you know, the outcomes is going to be utilized by the end user, this is 20%. All criteria are graded as in 5 levels: excellent, good, very good, excellent, good, average, unsatisfactory, and poor. Any proposal scored poor in any individual criterion will not be considered for funding process. We're also updating our evaluation criteria and their prospective weightages. Here also we're looking at the strength of alignments, applicants caliber, similarity, and budget, of course, external similarity and budget to be reviewed. So we're not going to ask for budget reduction. The budget will be reviewed and if it is consistent, this is gonna be okay. Also, the panel will not have any conditions on the proposal. Ethical compliance, of course, we're keen to have our expert to assess the ethical perspective of any applications. This is for the rapid. For the national, it's quite complicated a bit because we have two steps. We have scientific peer review, consisted of 40% of the grade, and the programmatic review consists of 60% of the grade. In the scientific peer review, we're considering scientific excellence, 30%, implementation, 30%, budget, 20%, potential impact, 20%, and we also allowing comments on the research compliance. For the programmatic review, relevance to Qatar is 25%, and the potential impact of the application to the country is 75%. Looking at the right hand side of the screen in front of you, this is kind of steps that or some kind of things that you want to highlight. Moving from the outcome of the peer review, scientifically sound proposal will be shortlisted for the programmatic panel review. So not every proposal will go through the two steps. Only the above the average is gonna be moved to discussed in the panel. Updated the evaluation and the criteria and their weightages. Also, we're keen about this. The strength of alignment, applicant caliber, external similarity, and budget. All this, are part of the review. Any proposal scored poor, as usual, in any individual criterion will not be considered for the funding process. Budget reduction also, we're not going to experience this. No panel conditions will be imposed on your proposal. By the end of the review, the proposals or the submissions are classified based on their merits in 4 criteria and 4 levels. A, it means the proposal was evaluated to be highly competitive. B, the proposal was evaluated to be moderately competitive. A and B still they are in the fundable phase, given the availability of budget. C and D are not fundable phase, and the proposal was evaluated to be uncompetitive for C. For D, the proposal was not shortlisted. It means from science-wise is not really to the level to move to the panel review. Terms and conditions, formally Mr. FA or Memorandum of Funding of the awards published at launch will let you know. A notice of award required to be signed after completing the pre-funding phase. This is for the awarded proposals. Timeline, we're about to finish. We know that it's quite a comprehensive session. Our timeline is straightforward. Registration, of course, for any research office, any entities inside Qatar, we're allowing this, so you can start at any time. For the proposal submission as well as research vetting process, this is started Jan 7 and for rapid grants, and January 14 for the national grants. The deadline for the proposal submission by the lead PI, 18 of February 2026. This is for the RRG dates. And for the national one, we're allowing until March 11, 2026. For the vetting, the research office task is going to be February 26 for rapid research grants. And, we move it to April 1st for 2026 for the national research grant. By the end of this, we're tentatively looking for June, July 2026 to announce the results of both types of grants. Of course, the vetting is going to start right away after submitted. So whatever submitted in front of you as a research office, you can start vetting to QRDI. Some hints for the applicants. This is, it's not really things that, help you to maximize your chances. You are encouraged to apply to all the available calls because we don't have this, restriction of roles. So far, most of the applicants are allowed to apply in all calls. Thing is also that you can utilize whatever not awarded in the past, but should be recently and also submitted for the first time. So, for example, you have not awarded proposals in ARG2, climate change, food security, all the path toward medicine, all these kind of calls that you have things not awarded in the previous cycles, and you're interested to resubmit it. You're allowed to submit it also in the newly launched calls, future communication and AI for Qatar, provided of course that all relevant rules are followed and proper declaration is made. From our side, we're done. Thank you very much for being with us today. More information as usual are available on nolight.qrdi.org. So lots of things, all the opportunities are there. The library of the documents, the policies, the guidelines, all of them are available in our nolight portal. We're also having a support ticketing system, support.qrdi.org, so you can apply and ask whatever question that we're unable to reply to you, for example, during the session. Thank you very much for being with us, and now we'll move right away to our question and answer session. Okay, I'll look at. Let me look at.
Thank you, Dr. Ali, for the great clarification on the second part.
Thank you, Dr. Kamla.
We can start with the questions to the Qatar National Library.
Okay. So can you read the question, Dr. Kamla?
Could you, so the question says, could you please provide a brief overview of the materials available, including if they are manuscripts or printed books, handwritten or typed, the approximate number of pages, and if the aligned image text pairs can be provided for AI training?
So maybe, yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for that question. Maybe I'll answer a little bit, and maybe my colleague Muhammad Abu Oda will answer the rest. So basically, it will be Arabic language manuscripts, meaning it will be handwritten, but they will be in digitized form. The number of pages, I don't have it offhand, but we have about 1,000 titles. So, you can use that as let's say 1,000 volumes. So you can use that as an approximation with 1,000. Let's say if we have, 100 pages, that should give you an idea. But it will be a variety of topics from a variety of periods. Muhammad, do you have a?
Yeah, and there is no typed or printed material. They're all handwritten. Some manuscripts have 2 pages and some has 1,000 pages, but we can average them at 300 pages. So in total, we would 300,000 pages, comprising the 1,000 that Hosam indicated.
Yes, and I think depending on the area of interest of your research, we could also provide links to other digitized manuscripts that is not within QNL's collection, but perhaps held by other institutions in Qatar or where we would have access to the data. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. Thank you very much. Let's move on, Dr. Kamla.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dr. Tan and Mr. Mohammed. Now we're moving to Dr. Ali. We have multiple questions. First, they asking if the resources will be presented on the QRDI website like previous calls, or is there the same for these calls, or do applicants have to reach out to get a list?
Yes. Actually, climate change and environmental call is kind of unique case. They provide us with whatever sections, and they make it materials, access to their sites. For other calls, we don't have this the same, so we don't have the structured resources as you expect. Whatever information related to the resources are available in the RFA, and of course, as we mentioned here in our presentation, so feel free to contact. Go ahead, Dr. Kamla, I'm done. The lead PI limit per call. Yes, the lead PI limit is only one proposal per call. So this is, as a lead PI, you're allowed to apply once in a call. So for example, we have here 5 calls. So you have 5 roles, 1 in each call. Can a postdoc working in another QRDI grant apply as a PI? Postdoc from terminal degree, he is of course having PhD, has PhD and is allowed, but we're looking for full-time affiliated to institutions with approved research office. So you need to refer to your research office and ask them, because we don't know what kind of contract. Is it full-time? Is it part-time? We don't know. So the best answer, you will get it from the research office.
Okay. So we have, I think this is a repeated questions. Can we be LPI in one rapid and in one research priority call?
Of course, you're allowed. Of course.
All right. Then they are asking if a proposal that were submitted for calls like ARG, PPM, and now being submitted to the new calls, will they be treated as a new submissions or a resubmissions? Noting that since this is a new call, it would not technically be a resubmission. And of course, LPIs will clearly state in the comments to QRDI that the proposal was submitted earlier.
Great. Thank you very much for this. So you're aware about the process. You need to declare it. And also, in fact, we're allowing in this new calls, we added a button of resubmission. So you can, go for resubmission and declare it. So no problem. If you're unable to do this, go as a new, but let us know in the comments that this is a clearly resubmitted once, and also mention the previous ID of your submissions.
So can commercial entities be collaborating institutions for the MCIT call?
Can commercial, for whatever calls we have here, industrial partners are allowed, but through our institutions that have approved the research office. So the starting point is to contact a point of contact and to start with the institution that have research office or approved the research office, and then work together, compose your proposal and apply to us. But you cannot submit right away since you don't have an approved research office from QRDI.
Okay, great. So we have repeated the questions about the LPI, if they can apply to 2 calls.
Yes, of course. Yeah, they are allowed.
Okay.
But there is a question here about how does AI-assisted healthcare priority area align with the objectives? The priority healthcare area is focused on AI used in diagnostic. Yes, it is allowed. Whatever we have here in the objective is very broad, and healthcare should be also one of this. And also our screening is mainly on the priorities. So the priorities is AI for healthcare, AI for tourism, and AI for education. So this is should be okay.
Okay. Is there a limit to the number of PI roles for the call? The RFA is silent on this.
It's not only AIK, for Qatar, we don't have this mandate, so we don't have a limitation on the number of BIs to be involved in one project. We'll leave it to the design of the lead BI. So he or she, they design their proposal, their applicants in a way that they like to do. But of course, you need to be also kind of sensitive to the number of PIs compared to the time and the tasks.
Okay. So they are asking if we could share with them a document if needed to be signed by the LPI and PI in addition to the proposal draft.
I'm not sure what they want here. Yes, there is in the yes, support letter, I guess. Support letter for a BI or lead BI. We have it in the call page. So whatever call, we have a dedicated page for this. You will find a template for the support letter. All the documents are there in the page itself. In no light. So we refer to the InnoLight, innovation light.
Okay. So we have a question again to QNL. Do you also have the text beside each image?
I'm not sure.
Sorry, we don't understand the question. Can somebody clarify the question? Can the person who asked the question clarify?
I'll read it for you. Do you also have the text beside each image?
I think if you allow me, Doctor, to clarify that question, as I understand it, is whether the text, the image is an image of an Arabic manuscript, whether you actually have the text typed or in another form rather than the manuscript. That's what I understood. Sorry to interrupt like that.
Thank you so much. As we mentioned, the digitized image is of a manuscript, and that's why we've also asked for, handwriting recognition tools. So it's not transcribed into a typed text. Does that answer your question? Mohammed, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, this is the core of outcome. If we have the images, we have the images and we look for HTR or OCR to extract this text.
Yeah. So it's expected to be an outcomes. Okay. Move forward.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. Thank you, Muhammad.
Thank you. So here they are asking if a private institution with an approved research office can apply as the main applicant and use NRG funding to hire doctoral researchers, research staff, or consultants and
Remunerate them
directly from the NRG fund, even without collaborating with academic public institution.
Yes, private institutions with approved research office are allowed to apply by themselves as a submitting institution, no problem in this. And they have the right to recruit and use the budget within the allowed items. But bear in mind, consultants are not paid, so we're not going to pay for consultants. Other than that, researchers, research staff, this is fine, no problem.
Okay.
Whom should, are you able to read it, Dr. Kamla?
We have a question, but related to the biomedical research calls. They are interested in their calls.
Yeah, our biomedical and health related calls is gonna present it in a webinar, very detailed webinar in Thursday. So I advise you to register there and attend with them. What do you mean?
So I think we covered all of the questions.
Can the tools easily plug into?
I think this is in response to yes, answer.
Okay. Yes, answer. Okay. Can you see any other? questions? Okay, everyone, we're almost, answered all the questions that we have in our Q&A chat box. But still, the floor is open for questions, so you can submit your question if you have something, varying room for application. Feel free to submit a ticket to QRDI support ticketing system. Explain whatever you need assistance from our side, and we'll respond accordingly. Thank you very much once again for being with us and for your interest in QRDI programs. It's a pleasure to serve you, and looking forward to your application and submissions. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.